In a small village nestled at the edge of the vast Sahara Desert, life was hard and unforgiving. The sun beat down mercilessly on the parched earth, and the wind whipped up sandstorms that could last for days. But despite the harsh conditions, the villagers had learned to adapt and survive, relying on their resourcefulness and the strength of their community to get by. At the heart of the village stood an ancient baobab tree, its massive trunk and gnarled branches reaching up towards the sky like the fingers of a giant hand. The tree was older than anyone could remember, and it was said to possess a strange and mysterious power. Every 10 years, the baobab tree would bear a single crop of golden fruits, each one shimmering in the sunlight like a miniature sun. The fruits were highly prized by the villagers, not just for their rarity and beauty, but for the legend that surrounded them. It was said that anyone who ate one of the golden fruits would be blessed with great wealth and prosperity. But there was a catch. With each fruit consumed, someone close to the eater would die, as if the tree demanded a life in exchange for its gift. Despite the risk, there were always those who were tempted by the promise of riches and willing to take their chances with the tree's curse. And so, every 10 years, when the fruits appeared, the village would be abuzz with speculation and anticipation, wondering who would be the one to pluck a golden fruit and change their destiny. Amma was a young girl who lived in the village with her family. Like most of the villagers, they were poor and struggled to make ends meet. Amma's father worked long hours in the fields, while her mother took care of the household and looked after Amma and her little brother Kwam. Despite the hardships they faced, Amma's family was close-knit and loving. They found joy in the simple things, like telling stories around the fire at night or playing games in the shade of the baobab tree. But as Amma grew older, she began to feel the weight of their poverty more keenly. She watched as her parents worked themselves to the bone, their hands rough and calloused from years of toil. She saw the worry lines etched on their faces, the way they would sometimes go without food so that she and Kwame could eat. Amma knew that she had to do something to help her family. She was smart and resourceful, and she was determined to find a way out of their dire circumstances. As Amma was walking past the baobab tree, she noticed that the golden fruits had appeared once again. The villagers were already gathering around the tree, their eyes wide with wonder and greed. Amma felt a sudden rush of excitement. She knew the legend of the golden fruits, and she couldn't help but imagine what it would be like to have all the money they needed. No more going hungry, no more watching her parents suffer. Before she could stop herself, Amma reached out and plucked one of the fruits from the tree. It was warm and heavy in her hand, and she could feel the power emanating from it. Without hesitation, Amma took a bite of the fruit. It was sweet and juicy, and as she swallowed, she felt a sudden rush of energy coursing through her body. From that moment on, Amma's life changed. It was as if the fruit had unlocked some hidden potential within her, and she found herself excelling at everything she tried. She started a small business selling handmade crafts, and soon the money started pouring in. Amma's family was overjoyed. They moved out of their small, cramped hut and into a spacious new home. They had plenty of food to eat, and Amma's parents were able to take a break from their backbreaking work. For a while, it seemed like the golden fruit had truly blessed them. Amma was happy and content, and she felt like she had finally found a way to help her family. But then, tragedy struck. Kwame, Amma's beloved little brother, fell ill with a mysterious disease. At first it seemed like just a minor illness, but as the days passed, Kwame's condition worsened. Amma's parents spared no expense in trying to find a cure for Kwame. They took him to the best doctors in the region, tried every medicine and treatment they could find, but nothing seemed to work. As Kwame's health deteriorated, so did the family's fortune. The money Amma had earned from her business quickly ran out, and they found themselves sinking deeper and deeper into debt. In a moment of desperation, Amma's parents made a terrible decision. They sold Amma to a brothel in a nearby town, hoping to use the money to pay for Kwame's treatment. Amma was devastated. She couldn't believe that her own parents would do something so horrible to her, But she knew that they were only trying to save Kwame's life, and so she went along with it, hoping that her sacrifice would not be in vain. But it was all for nothing. Despite everything they tried, Kwame passed away, leaving Ama's family heartbroken and destitute. They had lost everything, their money, their home, and now their beloved son and brother. Ama was trapped in the brothel, forced to endure unspeakable horrors day after day. She felt like she had lost everything, like the golden fruit had cursed her instead of blessing her. Years passed, and Ama's family remained poor and struggling. They had learned the hard way that the legend of the golden fruits was not to be trusted, that the price of wealth and prosperity was far too high. But even in the darkest of times, Ama never lost hope. She clung to the memories of her brother, to the love and strength of her family, and slowly, painfully, she began to rebuild her life. She escaped from the brothel and made her way back to her village, determined to start anew. She knew that she could never forget the tragedy that had befallen her family, but she also knew that she had to keep moving forward. Ama started a new business, this time focused on helping others in need. She used her skills and resources to provide food and shelter for the poorest members of her community, to give them the same kind of hope and support that she had once received. And as the years passed, Ama's reputation grew. She became known throughout the region as a woman of great compassion and strength, someone who had overcome unimaginable adversity to make a difference in the world. Despite everything she had been through, Ama never lost her love for the baobab tree. She would often sit beneath its branches, gazing up at the golden fruits that had once tempted her with their promise of riches. But now, Ama knew better. She knew that true wealth and happiness could not be found in material possessions or fleeting moments of prosperity. Instead, they were found in the love and support of family and community, in the strength and resilience of the human spirit. And so, Ama continued to live her life with purpose and meaning, knowing that she had been through the darkest of times and emerged stronger and wiser on the other side. She was a survivor, a fighter, and a beacon of hope for all those who knew her. And though the legend of the golden fruits would continue to tempt and torment others, Ama knew that she had found something far more valuable: the true riches of love, compassion, and the unbreakable bonds of family.